Guys, how's it going? It's Al. Week 11 is wrapping up on Monday night, and we have a DraftKings showdown to talk about between the Arizona Cardinals and the San Francisco 49ers. This game is in Arizona. The 49ers are favored by 8 in this one, and it's got a total of 43. So not a lot of points that are really expected to be scored, at least not by Arizona, but there's a lot of injury problems on the Arizona side that are, let's say, unfulfilled at the time that I'm recording this. So there's a lot up in the air. We're going to talk about all of it. We're going to build a pick'em on Underdog Fantasy. We're going to take a look at how to build those lineups in the Fantasy Labs lineup builder. So thank you guys for being here. Drop a like on the video, subscribe to the channel, ring the notifications bell, and let's go.
He's a legend.
If you're looking out for what I did in week 11, go check out the Al Smizzle Fantasy Football channel. Every single Monday, I come out with a recap video. Here's the one from week 10. Here's the one from week 9. Monday, right around noontime Pacific, you'll see that week 11 recap come out where I go over everything and talk about the top 10 people that finished in the Smiz Gang Listener League, as well as my cash game lineup, best buys. We'll go over everything I got right and everything I got wrong, as well as whether or not I won in tournaments that week. So definitely go check out Al Smizzle Fantasy Football at smizzle.tv/FF. There's a link right down below in the pinned comment to help take you there. Let's go over to Underdog Fantasy and build a pick'em. If you do not have an account yet at Underdog Fantasy, use promo code ALSMIZZLE. That's ALSMIZZLE, all one word. You get up to $100 deposit bonus on your first deposit to the site. So definitely go check it out because you can use it on a pick'em just like this one. I'm going to go higher. I bet hires because they're stupid and I spent absolutely no time building these. So feel free to bet against anything that I bet here. So I'm going to go with him. Let's go with over 58, higher than 58 receiving yards. No, you know what? Let's go higher than 4.5 reception. No, let's go higher than, you can only pick one per player. I'm going to go higher than 58 receiving yards. He's got like 80 yards receiving in a lot of different games this year. And let's go over 20.5 receiving yards for James Conner because he's basically been the only show in town. I'm going to take the, not take the insurance on that, 50 to win 300. Definitely go check out all the great products they have over at underdogfantasy.com. Taking a look at this slate, let's talk about the injuries first, okay? The injuries really just exist on Arizona's side. First and foremost, Marquise Brown. We do have some clarity on that one. Marquise Brown is not going to be, they thought maybe he was going to be ready for this game. He is still out. So he's not going to be reinstated against the 49ers here in the Altitude Bowl, in the Mexico City Bowl. It's just not going to happen. He's not here. Hopefully he can get well for week 12, week 13 moving forward from here, because I believe that they're going to be a much more dynamic offense when they get him and Nuke on the field with Kyler and Rondale running around. Like, they've just had this revolving door at wide receiver this year. So unfortunate that Hollywood is not back yet. Also, DeAndre Hopkins, one of the optimal captains on the night, regardless of who is under center, whether it's Kyler Murray, who we'll talk about in just a minute, or whether it's going to be Colt McCoy. I am operating on this video as though Kyler is going to be starting, even though he is listed currently as a game time decision. If he's not, adjust accordingly, but it does not affect the pass game option. It doesn't affect the main options for the Cardinals. At least it didn't last game. 14 targets, 10 catches, 98 yards for DeAndre Hopkins in the Colt McCoy game. We saw James Conner go berserk once. Like, this was the usage he was getting at the end of last season. Now, I say go berserk. He had 23.6 fantasy points, which is quite good. It was really the fact that James Conner got 95% of the snaps and touches against the Los Angeles Rams in SoFi Stadium, that, like, this is the type of usage that everybody's been wanting all year. We did not get it early in the year. Then he was hurt for the middle portion of the year. And then the Cardinals just kind of jettisoned Eno. Just, bye, you're gone. Something must, I don't know what happened. I haven't even looked into it yet. Like, all I know is he's gone, and now James Conner is the guy, just like he was the guy for the second half of the season last year. So massive workload coming up here. But the optimal captains outside, oh yeah, Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray is a game time decision because the new Call of Duty's out, right? I had to go to it's the low hanging fruit. I had to go to the joke. I'm sorry. He's a game time decision. Nobody knows. It's up in the air. It's 50-50 right now. I don't know. Flip a coin. I'm recording this on Sunday afternoon, just after the main slate of games finished. So if he is healthy, play him. If Kyler Murray is not healthy, guys, don't play Kyler Murray if he's out on Monday night. Also, the cosplay Shefties don't have to announce in the replies that he's out if and when he's out. By the time you've hit the reply button to let us know that he's out or in, we already know. But we thank you for your service. You know, the cosplay Shefties are very important on YouTube. So we appreciate you. Salute. So if he's there, at least we have the upside of a quarterback who can add some rushing yards, add a touchdown here against an extremely stout San Francisco 49ers defense. One of the best in the league at muting just about everything. Now, that to me means outside of Hopkins, who I believe is an optimal captain, and if you're going to play DeAndre Hopkins at captain, I'm going to be tying Kyler Murray or Colt McCoy to him. You see that they've priced them somewhat close. Obviously, Murray a little bit higher because of the rushing upside that he brings along with him. So he's the only real optimal captain on that side. I don't think that James Conner is going to be somebody who is going to pop as an optimal captain unless you're building that lineup on the game script that says you think the Cardinals are winning this game on the field. And if you're doing that, then build those lineups accordingly. James Conner has a big day. James Conner gets over 100 yards, 25 plus opportunities. That is a very slim opportunity, a very slim chance. It's also going to be somewhat unique if you get to that point. If that is the lineup you want to build, you can do that around the passing game for San Francisco. And the passing game for San Francisco is rich at this point. Jimmy Garoppolo has an embarrassment of riches for him to throw the ball to. And Elijah Mitchell's back, who doesn't really catch a lot of passes. He can. They just don't utilize him that way. And they especially aren't going to utilize him that way when they have Christian McCaffrey to throw the ball to a multitude of times. I do think for the last 2-3 years, you guys have heard me say, I'm not really playing quarterbacks at captain all that much unless they're a unicorn. And Jimmy Garoppolo, clearly a very handsome man, but not a unicorn. Unicorn meaning that quarterback who can get you 35 fantasy, the Josh Allens, the Patrick Mahomes, Kyler Murray when he's right. Justin Fields is in that mode now. Hurts. All those guys are viable captains. We don't really have that with Jimmy Garoppolo. But we've only got a couple of games with him with this particular pass game offense. And in this particular matchup against Arizona, I think that he could be the optimal captain with a specific game flow. And it's because of the embarrassment of riches that he has to throw the ball to. I'll explain. One, Christian McCaffrey is going to be the guy who's probably going to pop the most in terms of looking at a lineup builder or a set of projections. He's going to be the highest graded San Francisco 49er, highest projected 49er on median projection, likely on ceiling projection as well. He'll also have the best floor because of the fact that he's going to get 20 plus opportunities and so much usage, 15 targets over the last 2 weeks. They're not going to wear him out on the ground. They don't need to, but they definitely went to him inside the 5-yard line in both of the weeks that he's been on the team. So like you could see these days again where he gets you without getting the volume that he used to get on Carolina. He's still going to get ridiculous holes to run through. He's still going to bust big plays. And because of the fact that he's running against lighter boxes on the 49ers, and because their coach does such a good job at scheming the ball to him or everybody, you have to consider him as the best captain in this spot. Again, embarrassment of riches for Jimmy Garoppolo. I don't think if you play him at the captain that you have to tie Jimmy Garoppolo to him. So like, I know that question is going to be asked. If I play Christian McCaffrey, do I have to play Jimmy Garoppolo in that lineup? No. So there's that half of it. Now, looking at the other San Francisco 49ers, Deebo Samuel, I think is not an optimal captain at all. Like, I think that I might have shares. If I was to play 150 lineups, yeah, you're going to say, you know what? I'm going to build some Deebo lineups in case, but he is actually the in case guy now, which is really strange considering that Brandon Ayuk's the guy who has been the stalwart of this pass game offense for San Francisco, at least for the past month, right? He has been strong before that, but 4 straight games of over 80 yards receiving, no less than 6 catches in any one of those 4 games. 28 fantasy points, 15, 20, 13.4. Aside from the Christian McCaffrey 40-point game where he went nuclear their first game with him when he was the new shiny toy that they used, that's one thing. Deebo Samuel, way more fluctuation. They're not running the ball with him anymore, right? So like that's at least a positive, but you would want him to have this 10, 9, 8, 7 targets in a game. He's not getting that every single week, and he's not getting these easily convertible catches from his targets. Caught 2 of 9 in week 5, caught 2 of 6 in week 10, and he's drawing everybody's number 1, which is just allowing Jimmy G to pick apart other easy spots, which also leads us to a dream spot for George Kittle, who has been on and off, not really utilized that much. Again, the embarrassment of riches, and nobody can eat. There is nobody on this San Francisco team outside of Christian McCaffrey who's going to get a very steady and heavy dose of the offense. Now, what does that mean for Jimmy Garoppolo? If I'm using Kittle as the captain, I'm going to have Jimmy Garoppolo with him in there. If I'm using Ayuk as the captain, I'm going to use Jimmy Garoppolo with him there. Same thing goes if you're using Debo. But of the 4 weapons on San Francisco, this is strange to say, I think I like Debo the least this week. Out of all 4 of them, he is my least favorite captain to play. How crazy, like that sounds crazy to me. But that's where I am. I'm not saying to fade him completely. You can play him if you want. Just realize that he's probably the 4th best of that quad. So why does that mean that I think Jimmy Garoppolo is somebody that I probably want to have like 5% or maybe even like 7 or 8% in the captain spot? Because there's a lot of paths. Jimmy Garoppolo can have a day where he throws for like 290, 295 yards, throws for 3, maybe 4 touchdowns. All the different guys, right? We haven't even gotten to like the dart throw guys yet. And walks away with the optimal captain spot on the 49ers because none of the other players have that walk away day, right? He throws a touchdown to a no name. He throws 1 to like Debo, who catches 3 balls, throws 1 to Kittle, who catches like 4 balls. He throws 1 to Christian McCaffrey, but Christian McCaffrey ends with like 20 fantasy points, and it's more optimal to have Jimmy G as your quarter. There's a lot more paths to Jimmy G ending the night as the optimal captain than there normally have been the last 2 seasons with Jimmy G at the helm of this San Francisco 49ers offense. Just strange to me. On the other side, like I said, there's 2 guys that I think are one that I think is extremely strong at the captain spot. Clearly, Nuke Hopkins. The dark horse captain would be Rondale Moore, who, in the absence of Hollywood Brown, now Hollywood Brown left and Nuke Hopkins came back, but that has not affected Rondale Moore's usage. And now you have the situation with Zach Ertz out for the year and Hollywood not back yet, that Rondale Moore is going to see this really high target market share, running from the slot where he should be running, getting routes past the line of scrimmage, something we didn't see from him last year. And he's been tremendous the last 3 weeks. 23.4, 14.9, 18.4. Even if they're in a situation where they're playing from behind, if they lose this game, let's say 27-17, right? Rondale Moore can still pay off for you and gives you so much savings at the captain spot that it allows you to jam in a little bit more. So those are all of the captains that I think are the most viable and why, with all the stories behind them. So that's where I think we need to go. And then obviously correlating where we need to correlate throughout. The one rule that I'm still going to stand by for this one, you can do whatever you want. I am still only going to be using 1 defense and kicker out of the 4 that are available. Very easy to do this if you're just building by hand. Very easy to put a rule into the lineup builder to do the same. And if you wanted to keep up to date with all of the best information as it breaks, clearly I record this video on Sunday afternoon, make sure that you become a member of our Discord. That link also right down below in the pinned comment. Go drop a like on the pinned comment just to let me know that you see it. Or you can go to smizzle.tv/links. It's right there. If you're a channel member here on YouTube, $5 a month, or a Twitch subscriber, either one, you get access to the VIP rooms in our community Discord, partnered Discord, 7,000 members strong. You just have to go to the hashtag instructions folder in there right when you join. If you are a channel member here on YouTube or a Twitch subscriber, your name will turn blue or red depending on where you're subbed, and you get access to all of those super secret VIP private rooms. Looking at a couple of dart throws in this one, I got 3 for you. And the dart throws haven't done poorly. I know I forgot them last week, but I put them up on the Monday stream. why are we all over the place on this thing? Like I said, Zach Ertz is out in this game, out for the season, which means that Trey McBride is going to catch a lot of run. He's just going to be on the field a lot. I don't think he's going to catch very much ownership this week. He might be as high as 25. I usually like to keep the dart throws under 25, but like there's a pathway to like 4 or 5 targets, and he's only 1K, so it makes a lot of sense. Gives you enough room. Even you can use him in like a 5-1 lineup if you need that salary savings to go with 5 49ers and 1 Arizona Cardinal. I don't see him being 50, 60, 70%. I think he's going to be sub 25, sub 30, which makes him a solid dart throw in that spot. If you're looking for a San Francisco dart throw, not an off the reservation one, but like we're not looking for much. Juwan Jennings has done enough, but he's priced up at 4,400. He's gotten 4 targets each of the last 2 games. Every single point matters in Showdown, and he has by far the best matchup of the wide receivers on San Francisco. I could see him getting away with like one of those Showdown. Twitter says this helps no one. You know who it helps? It helps the people who played him in Showdown is who it helps, right? Fantasy football Twitter's like, Juwan Jennings, that sucks. Well, not if you played Juwan Jennings. Should certainly be under that 20% mark. And then the other side of the Christian McCaffrey play is Elijah Mitchell at not 5,800. That's his captain first. No, it is 5,800. 5,800 is his price. 18 carries last week. Not expecting that much usage, but it could get there. Not going to get a lot of targets. Those are going to Christian McCaffrey. But if he scores a long touchdown, and he does have big playability, or he gets one inside the 5-yard line, you're getting somebody that's a leverage off of the Christian McCaffrey rushing touchdowns, and everybody's going to flock towards playing CMC, which puts you in a better position to win, leveraging off of the crowd always. Taking a look over at Fantasy Labs, go to smizzle.tv/labs with an uppercase L. You can get a discounted membership to Fantasy Labs. The best bet is the 8-month membership. Yes, it's all the 8 months up front, but you get access to NFL, college football, NBA, baseball when it comes back around, golf, NHL, soccer, projections, premium articles, and a great lineup builder as well. I've already got everything preloaded. I'm not going to allow a kicker or defense to be my captain. Taking a look at the 5 position rules that we make. Pair your captain quarterback with at least 2 of their pass catchers. Pair your captain quarterback with 1 of the skill position players on the other team. Captain wide receiver with exactly 1 quarterback. So we're making sure if we have a wide receiver that I'm putting their quarterback in that lineup. If you have Rondale and you want to say excluding that, you can do that. You can say if Rondale's a captain, you don't need to have it. These are other rules you can set up in player correlations and player groups. Captain tight end, pair him with the captain quarterback, or pair him with his quarterback, and limit to at most 1 defense and kicker from the same game. You can go over to the custom rules, set this one at least 1 player from the skill positions, running back, wide receiver, tight end, that is coming in at less than 20%, and we'll run those projections to try and build our lineups. I appreciate you guys being here. Realize that it does take more than just clicking generate and hitting a vanilla lineup run. Don't go and copy any of these lineups down and think that you're going to enter them and that's the winning lineup. That's not how it works. It takes a lot of time to massage the lineup builder to get it to put out the combinations and the allocations and the correlation that you're looking for to get to your final lineup run. So thank you guys for being here. Look out for another video right there.
He's a legend.